This one's supposedly a sunset. Hard to tell.
Oh boy.
I do love it, though.
How did they manage to get that sun right in there? Fantastic. The forgotten song. Never forget that the world, the sightless, see, in other words, the blind people see or actually perceive, must be imagined. For what the real world really looks like is unknown to the blind or the sightless that see with egoic eyes. This is an incredible statement, and it makes sense. The sightless that see with egoic eyes must infer what could be seen from evidence forever indirect and reconstruct their inferences as they stumble and bumble and fall because of what the sightless didn't recognize or walk unharmed through open doorways that they thought were closed. And so it is with you. You who see with egoic eyes do not see. Instead, you perceive what you projected from your mind's own internal thoughts. Your cues for inference are wrong. And so you who see with egoic eyes stumble and fall down upon the stones you did not recognize, but fail to be aware you can go through the doors you thought were closed, but which stand open before unseeing eyes waiting to welcome you. The unseen eyes is the vision of the Holy Spirit within us. It's an incredible paragraph.
Unseeing, but with vision.
Right?
When we choose to perceive based on the thought system of the ego, our ego body, the regular kind of mind, we think based on our egoic belief in limitation and separation. Because we believe we're limited ego bodies in competition with other limited ego bodies, we perceive a world of limitation for ourselves. This egoic world of perception becomes a fearful place that reflects the projections from our own mind's belief in sin and guilt. Living in victim consciousness, we fear to open the door that will lead us back to the sanity of the truth that we are unlimited children of God. Because we think fearful thoughts, we project these same fears outside of ourselves in a futile attempt to remove these fears from our own mind. These projected fearful thoughts are then reflected back to us as our perception. It's like putting on a pair of glasses. Thus, thought never leaves the mind of the thinker, and our projections make the world that we perceive like we're watching a film in a loop.
Foolish it is. How foolish is it to attempt to judge what could be seen with the vision of Christ instead? It is not necessary to imagine what the world must look like. The world must be seen with Christ's vision before you recognize the world for what it really is. With the vision of Christ, you can be shown which doors are open, and you can see where safety lies, and which way leads to the darkness, which way to light. Egoic judgment will always give you false directions. But vision shows you where to go. Why should you guess?
A Course in Miracles tells us that the only correct judgment that we can make is to realize that we can't judge anything correctly. Since our mind is clouded by the ego's thought system, we should ask for the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Because only the Holy Spirit knows the truth and has the big picture of God's plan for salvation. We need only follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Vision comes through the Holy Spirit who resides in the Christ consciousness part of our own mind. Discard egoic thinking and look only with the vision of the eyes of Christ. Vision is true seeing.
There's no need to learn through pain. No pain, no gain ain't right. There is no need to learn through pain. And gentle lessons are acquired joyously and are remembered gladly. What gives you happiness, you want to learn and not forget. It is not what gives you happiness you would deny. Your question is whether the means by which this course is learned will bring to you the joy this course promises. If you believed this course's means would give you the joy ACIM promises, the learning of Course in Miracles would be no problem. You're not a happy learner yet because you still remain uncertain that the Christ vision of the Holy Spirit's thought system gives you more than the judgment of the egoic thought system does. And you have learned that both vision and judgment you cannot have. It's one or the
As
other.
long as long as we have hope that the egoic thought system can achieve the happiness we seek, we will not desire to change our belief system of that to that of the Holy Spirit. This is why A Course in Miracles says, before we change our mind, we need to be so miserable with our own private world that we finally say there must be another way. We got to hit a bottom in order to go up.
The egoic.
The egoic thought system has always surrendered our happiness for its claim to rightness. It would rather be right than happy. When we decide that we need to find a new plan for happiness, we've become, we've begun the recovery of our decision making ability. We've decided we need to finally choose again. Hopefully, rather than choose a different egoic plan for our happiness, we'll choose for the reawakening of the vision of Christ.
The blind become accustomed to their world by their adjustments to their blind world, where they can't see. The blind think they know their way about in their blind world. They learned about their world not through joyous lessons, but through the stern necessity of limits that the blind believed they could not overcome. And still believing these lessons of limitation, the blind hold those lessons dear and cling to these lessons of limitation because the blind cannot see. The blind do not understand that these lessons of limitation keep them blind. That these lessons of limitation keep them blind. The blind do not believe. Oh, boy, that was a difficult. It's because of the way he added the bold letters. That these lessons of limitation keep them blind. The blind do not believe. So it actually probably says, I'm not sure how the actual big book says it, but it's a hard sentence because it's kind of backwards. But anyway, it's all true, of course. That these lessons of limitation keep them blind. The blind do not believe. They don't believe that these lessons of limitation keep them blind. Okay, at that time. And so the blind keep the world they learned to see, they think, in their imagination, believing that their choice is a world based on limitations or nothing. The blind hate the world of limitation they learned through pain. And everything the blind think is in their world of limitation serves to remind them that they are incomplete and bitterly deprived.
Our belief in limitation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Oh, that is really key. It's so key. I want to highlight it differently. There we go. What we perceive is based on our own internal belief system that we've projected into our provisional reality that we call our physical world. The egoic thought system only provides a world based on sin, guilt, fear, suffering, and pain. There's only so much pain you can take before you freely choose to reclaim the decision making part of your mind, and then you will decide to choose again. And we're going to stop there for the day. I hope you all have a fantastic day.